Hey guys, Andrew here with Dad Verb. I'm excited to shift gears here and review tech beyond the baby niche and talk about tech for the home, things that can help us. As parents, we're going to be getting a good look at the Roomba i3 Plus and the Braava Jet M6. This is a robotic vacuum and mop tag team designed to keep your home clean. Now, personally for us, we've been using an entry-level robotic vacuum for like 3 years now. I think these types of products provide an immense amount of value for the home, but the one that we've been using has fallen a bit short for us as our family and space has grown over the years. I wanted some extra features, and luckily I got to connect with iRobot, who was willing to send me some things to try out. So thanks to them for sending and sponsoring, but I want to get into why I chased this out. Now let's get into the features, but also talk about some watchouts to consider, and then answer the question if it's actually worth it for you guys. Now, many other robotic vacuums are going to go in a random pattern, basically pinballing their way through your home. And this is what we've grown accustomed to. And the downside here is that it's not always going to get all the spots that you need. But with the Roomba i3 Plus, it uses a floor tracking system to vacuum in more linear paths, which leads to better coverage. And that's the main thing that I've enjoyed here. Advanced models like the Roomba i7, S9, and our Braava Jet M6, which we'll get into, they take the mapping one step further with an added camera on top for more advanced navigation and features. Now, while I've enjoyed the i3, I personally might try upgrading myself to the i7 because I think that smart mapping alone is worth it. The i3 has been great though. It's moving around our house very nicely. Its reactive sensor technology has lived up to its purpose of not getting stuck in difficult places. Now, there are a number of features, including like voice control and how it can understand your habits, where it cleans when you're outside of the home and stops when you come back, but that's just not really how we use our Roomba. I'm coming from the perspective of how it fits into our family, how we use it, and we're more of a set it and forget it kind of a clan. The app is pretty simple and clean, and that's where we set our scheduling. We have it run every other day in the evenings or while we're just asleep so the kids don't mess with it at all. The next day, the floors are clean and we can look back at the mapping to see where it covered. You can also set how it does its cleaning passes, but we've been pretty happy with just the automatic setting. When the vacuum is either done with its job or needs to recharge, it will work its way back to the clean base. The motor in the base will rev up and then clean out the debris into a bag that can last up to 60 days. Now, one thing to note here is that while the vacuum itself isn't crazy loud, I mean, like, it's a tad distracting, but it's a vacuum and it's doing a lot of work for you. It's fine. The sound of the base self-emptying, that can sound a little bit jarring. It's only a few seconds, but it legit sounds like a fighter jet. For its first ever run, we set it to clean in the middle of the night. We woke up to a bit of a startle when we heard that thing revving up. So now it's to be expected, but just don't want to have that catch you by surprise. Now, when it comes to airflow and suction power, I don't personally have like the instruments to measure and test their claimed specs, but to me, it didn't really matter as long as it was able to pick up a lot of like the basic debris and dirt from our toddlers throughout our home. I did a quick test just to observe it in action, where I sprinkled goldfish crumbs, cereal, sawdust, fine dirt, and then my wife's hair all along the rubber flooring of our gym, which is a little bit more difficult to lift debris than hardwood. I had it run for a few minutes. After its run, I was happy to see that it was able to handle everything with ease, with the exception of like that crazy fine dust that stuck to the tacky rubber surface. Had that been like short carpet or hardwood, I think that would have been gone. Now, in comparison to the budget vacuum that we were using previously, we are getting a much deeper clean, particularly on carpets, and it's because of like that 2 brush roll system underneath. The main thing I was concerned with was whether or not I could handle my wife's hair. Pet hair, I think it's fine. Longer strands, my wife's hair still accumulated along the edges and then a little bit on the brush roll, but it wasn't as built up as our old vacuum. We'll probably do a deeper dive on the Roomba i3 Plus alone down the line, but I just quickly wanted to hit on how it can team up with the Braava Jet M6 mop. Now, when you set a job for the Roomba, you have the option to mop after with iRobot's imprint link technology. This is where it gets really cool. The Braava functions very similarly to the Roomba. It comes with 4 mop pads, 2 for dry mopping, 2 for wet. And when you slide the pads on, it automatically detects which cleaning mode it's in. In wet mopping mode, you'll need to fill the tank in the middle using a mixture of water and the provided cleaning solution. And during its cleaning run, it'll go forward a few feet, spray the solution, mop over it, and so on. Now, just to gauge how deep it'll clean, it'll do a fantastic job at like juice or soup or like coffee droplets that set overnight. Basic cleanup jobs just to keep your life easy. Now, if it's like crayon that's like been drawn into the ground or anything that's like really hardcore been set, it's not really like meant to do like deep scrubs. So just keep that in mind. It's more daily surface maintenance. The magic here again is the mapping and navigation. The M6 is more along the lines of the Roomba i7 and S9, where it builds a map of your home, which you can customize and set particular rooms and zones to either focus on or just avoid altogether. So if you want, you can actually have it clean specific rooms and it'll stay within the borders that you set. It takes a few runs to get the mapping in place, but once it's there, it's an absolute game changer. I love this. Another cool thing is how it can tell where hardwood flooring ends and carpeting begins to then just avoid certain areas. For us, it did an amazing job at that. And just like the Roomba, it can recharge and resume. So if you're having it run an entire floor of your house, it can handle long jobs with a break in the middle as needed. Guys, there are links to everything down below. Buying through those links helps support this channel. It's at no additional cost to you guys. I fully understand that there's always some sort of trepidation when like a video is sponsored or anything like that. I am very selective of like what brands I get to partner with and feature on the channel because I can't just accept everything. It takes a long time to make these kinds of videos. I am genuinely happy with the Roomba, and on dadverb.com, which is slowly being built out, we are having a list of top 10 things that parents want but will not register for, and I'm willing to say that the Roomba will probably make that list among other cool little unique gift ideas. So when that website's up and running, go check that out. If there's one thing that I wish I could like change or add, I wish I could enable some sort of toddler lock, because kids do get curious about these kinds of devices and they tend to like button mash a little bit when they see it around. I wish I could stop that. Otherwise, I can say that like the Roomba and the Braava are basically, the part of the family, and they're well worth it with how much time it actually saves us. Now, one habitual note from us, even though this is capable of avoiding obstacles, as part of our nightly routine, we put up our chairs just to make life easier so we can get a nice thorough clean. It's not necessary at all, but it is something that we do. We've actually, it's unbelievable the world that we live in right now. We've actually automated the cleaning of our home. Now, everyone has a different living situation, which I get, but with kids, specifically toddlers, for us, these types of products hold an immense amount of value for us. Going back to the Roomba though, I mean, if you're looking at the spectrum of like robotic vacuum prices, maybe like $150 on the low end, $800-900 on the high end, the i3 Plus kind of slots in the middle, and having started, on the entry level price point, I felt that this is a great upgrade that still delivered on a lot of premium features that I was wanting. You do need to consider the cost of buying like new filters and whatnot, but overall, I wanted convenience, and I gotta say, this is definitely delivering on that. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button down there. Looks like a thumbs up. For more videos and reviews for new parents, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video, and come back for the next one. God bless. Later.